It's the DLLS Mavs postgame show. I'm live at the American Airlines Center as the Mavericks fall 138-131 to the Los Angeles Clippers. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs analyst, Bobby Carella. We, of course, are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys, covering your favorite team, even when they fall to Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers in overtime.
Caster out of the shot, Kevin.
Oh, wow. I mean, he walked by, so it's kind of hard for me to keep him out of the shot. But that is, of course, Nick Angstad of Locked On Mavs. Mavericks fall 138-131 in overtime. Second overtime game that these two have played in this building this season, as the Mavericks get outscored 16-9 in the overtime period to lose to drop to 23-48 on the year. Clippers improved to 35-36 on the season. Darius Garland, the story tonight, 41 points for the Los Angeles Clippers in a massive game for him. Kawhi Leonard chipped in with a cool 34 for the Clippers, your high man for the Dallas Mavericks tonight. Najee Marshall, 28 points in 37 minutes. Bobby Carella, your big takeaway from tonight is?
So Coop is, I think, showing a lot of signs of improvement as a playmaker. He's making a lot of passes, finding guys in the corner. He is finding guys, whenever he's catching the ball, looking one way, and then he's immediately, kind of reversing and swinging it again. He's making a lot of the kinds of passes that you have to sort of feel or anticipate, that you have to trust are going to be there. He's also making some pretty spectacular, driving from the left side and firing it all the way over to the right kind of passes. And those are really nice, but, and this is no slight to Coop. The difference between, whenever we talk about young guys already being one of the better players in the league, compared to veterans, Coop has a lot of abilities. He has a lot of talent, and he's going to get much better in every situation. But tonight was a perfect example of the difference between Coop and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi is able to get wherever he wants to go, whenever he wants to get there. Doesn't matter the situation. Doesn't matter the leverage. Is this the first quarter or is this the final 5 seconds? And we've seen it pretty often, throughout the season. Coop will have some big fourth quarters, but then whenever it comes down to the play of the game, there's 5 seconds left on the game clock and it's a tie game and you need a shot. He's missed most, if not all of those. He's committed some turnovers. And again, no knock on him. But you can kind of see, friend of the show, Austin Garuya, tweeted, very succinctly, I think, he kind of knows what he wants to do. He just doesn't know how he wants to get there, and I don't think he knows what his spot is. I don't think he knows what his move is. It took Dirk 5 years to figure it out. Maybe it'll take Coop 1. I have no idea. But that's the difference between being a really, really talented player and the Terminator, and I think Kawhi is a great example of that, because Kawhi is the guy that I see a lot of in Coop. I see shades of Kawhi. Some people see Kevin Garnett. Some people see other guys, LeBron. I really see a lot of Kawhi and Coop. And so I think in a couple of years, Coop will go into cyborg mode in that way. But until then, it was another clutch loss for the Mavs.
Yeah, Cooper Flagg had a chance to win this game in the final seconds. Missed a jump shot on the right side of the floor. PJ Washington scored, but it came after the buzzer, and the Mavericks got blitzed in overtime. The Clippers jumped out to what was a 13-2 start in overtime, and Kawhi Leonard and Darius Garland just simply continue what was the takeover of tonight's game for them, because they were absolutely spectacular. But you're right. I mean, Cooper Flagg got to a spot, thought he had a chance to be able to make that shot. Was a little heavy on the jump shot, but at the same time, the fact that the Mavericks were in that situation to give him a chance to have another learning moment. This has been a year of learning moments for Cooper Flagg. This is yet another one for him to try to come up with something in the end to win this game. Unfortunately, not able to do it as he winds up going 6 of 16 from the field, had 9 rebounds, 7 assists, did have 18 points, and had 4 block shots tonight. I thought his relentless effort on the defensive end was the big takeaway for me from him tonight, because the atmosphere inside this building was one of, they wanted this team to get this win tonight. I mean, obviously, the third quarter was a quarter of runs. The Clippers, who found themselves starting that third quarter in the first 5.5 minutes on a 24-5 start after they were down 9 at halftime to the Mavericks, really took for the Mavericks to begin that first, portion of the third. And then,
yeah, I don't want to cut you off, Kevin, but can you explain what is happening? Are you living inside a cartoon right now?
No. So tonight is you can shoot a free throw after the game tonight. So folks are walking down the concourse and being able to shoot free throws. And whose voice you hear in the back is Renard Patton. Of course,
there's a lot of whimsical sound effects being played too.
Oh yes, well, those are people trying to make free throws, and you're getting the sound effect of those folks trying to make those free throws, and folks explaining to them how to make and shoot free throws. So, if you want to learn how to shoot free throws, you could come join me at the American Airlines Center. But hopefully here's a free tip.
Here's free advice on how to shoot a free throw. First, all right, beef. Remember beef. There's a ball in my other room. I'll go through beef in the next segment. How about that? I'll give shooting advice on the next segment, because let's be honest, Kevin, what else is there to talk about? One thing though, installment number 376 of if you run a sub 5 40-yard dash, you can go for 40 against the Mavs. Guards that have some quickness just feast on this team, man. It is like it's getting to the point now where, like, I am surprised if a fast player doesn't score at least 30. Like, it's pretty rough.
Yeah. This has been the story for the Mavericks all season when it comes to defending guards. They have not been able to do it. VJ Edgecombe, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, take your pick of guard who the Mavericks have tried to defend this year. They've not been able to do it. And Darius Garland, who had by far his best game as a Clipper with 41 points, made 8 threes, going 8 of 12 from downtown, 15 of 24 from the field, and was unbelievable tonight. And the Mavericks simply did not have an answer for him as they went with a 9-man rotation. And Darius Garland, Bobby, got to pretty much any spot that he wanted to on the floor. But the next level of his game, he was able to knock it down from 3, going 8 of 12 from 3. That's where things really kind of took over for him. But yeah, you're right. He was able to get to any spot that he wanted on the floor. The Mavericks simply didn't have anyone to defend him, which has been a story for them all season.
Yeah, there was moments in the second half, especially where, like, Nemby and Garland were guarding each other, and they were just taking turns just cooking each other. Like, it was pretty rough. But it's another example of why you need quickness on defense. You cannot just defend with size. That is not how you defend in the NBA anymore. It was a miscalculation with building the team, but they really need point of attack defenders this offseason. They have to do this. I mean, the list of guys that have gone off against this defense, these smaller, quicker guards, is getting really long. We don't have time to name them all, but Garland is the latest example. And now he's a good player, right? Just like Kawhi is a good player. But we kind of all collectively acknowledge and began to understand throughout the mid to late 2000s and into the teens that if you want to be good, you got to have guys that can guard LeBron. You got to have guys that can guard Kawhi. You got to have guys that can guard Giannis. You got to have guys that can guard Luka. Ideally, you can have one guy that can do all of those things, or at least have 2 guys that can kind of share those duties throughout the season. The Mavs don't have guys that can guard Darius Garland. Donovan Mitchell kind of had to beat himself the second time the Mavs played. The first time he was doing whatever he wanted. And these guys, again, are good players, all-star, all-NBA caliber players. But there are guys that are not all-stars that are just really fast, that have had good games against the Mavs. But also the way that you beat teams with all-stars is by shutting down the all-stars. and all-star guards have feasted on this defense all season. Keontae George destroyed the Mavs multiple times this year. Like, they have got to get some quickness. They've got to get some perimeter presence in here this summer, and this, again, is another example. And I don't know this to be true, but I don't think you're going to find that in the draft. That is going to have to be something that you acquire via trade or free agency.
Yeah, I mean, you said the list is too long to name. I mean, a few of them I'll name. Obviously, we'll start at the top with SGA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's arguably the best point guard in the league. Obviously, we know Luka, what he's done. Tyrese Maxey's cooked him. Like, any point guard that you want to name, they have had their way and taken their turn against the Dallas Mavericks tonight. Who I thought, Bobby, actually in the first half played really well in this game. They come out, they score 72 points, they lead by 9 at halftime. In the first half, they make double-digit threes. In fact, they made 10 threes in the first half alone. Klay Thompson hit 4 threes in the first quarter. They actually came out shooting the ball extremely well and gave themselves a chance going into the second half. Just that third quarter really took them for a turn because of what was going on there.
Does that mean that someone just missed?
No, it continues to cycle the video, the beef, and the everything.
Oh my God! So they're just playing a video on repeat. Don't they know we're filming a podcast here? Come on!
Yeah, that's true. That's very
true.
Get
them on the phone. Yeah, I mean, they just they have to get more speed, and getting speed on offense would help too. We see what kind of impact Brandon Williams can have on the offense whenever he's out there, just being able to kind of squirt through little tiny gaps that close quick. These windows in the NBA close very fast. But yeah, man, I think the Clippers, I don't know, like, obviously Garland is still pretty young. Kawhi is going to be good for as long as he plays. Who even knows if he's going to be on their team next year, though? I don't know that the Clippers are going to be better than the Mavs next year. But you cannot, especially if the Mavs are going to be better than the Clippers, you can't afford to throw games against teams that you're competing with and or better than because you just don't have a single guy on the team that can guard one of their best players. They have to find some speed. They have to. That is like, I'm going to kind of contradict what I've been saying all year. I think speed on defense, particularly at the point of attack, is more important in addition than shooting to add to this team in the summer. And it's more important in addition to than playmaking. Ideally, you find a playmaker that can also shoot and defend. There aren't many of those, but they have to, dude. They have to find someone that can stay in front of anybody. They have to.
You know who reminded us of that tonight? Derrick Jones Jr. Derrick Jones Jr. was 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 5 from downtown, had 15 points, and served as a reminder of how good he was when he was here in Dallas during the finals run as their point of attack defender. And at times took turns on Cooper Flagg and others. But Derrick Jones Jr. in 37 minutes was very effective for the Los Angeles Clippers, who left Dallas to go to the Clippers. And you saw and was reminded of him tonight and how well he was able to play. That kind of POA type of guy is someone that the Mavs are desperately missing, given what he's been able to do with Los Angeles now, for sure.
Yeah, and I see people in the chat saying, okay, Kingston Flemings, he's really fast. Darren Peterson, he's really quick. And I'm not going to dispute that. But, generally, those kinds of guys, they're going to be your lead guard on offense. It takes a lot of effort to run offense. It takes a lot of effort to try and score 25 points. It takes just as much effort to prevent the other guy from trying to go for 25 points. So asking a 19-year-old rookie who's never defended in the NBA to defend the fastest, best player on the other team, like most of the time, as well as run your offense and give you 20, it's tough. It's tough. And plus, if they draft Flemings, he's not going to be starting. Kyrie's going to be starting. So going into next year, the Mavs point guard is going to be a 4-year-old Kyrie coming off a knee injury. Dude, they got to find, Max Christie. I believe in him, but I don't believe in him that much. I do not believe in him that much to be the point of attack guy on a team with Kyrie. You have to be able to hide Kyrie. You have to be able to preserve his energy again to run the offense. And him being able to do that. We already see, these last few games, Coop's scoring numbers haven't quite been as good as they were before, but because he's not playing point guard anymore and Nemby's out there, it feels like he's got more energy on defense. Like Coop is able to make more plays on defense tonight. He had 4 blocks, some spectacular ones. Dude, that last one on Kawhi was unbelievable. But he's not having to empty the tank on offense every time down the floor. And similarly, you don't want guys that are having to dig in on defense to also have to do a lot on offense. Like, it's the symbiotic thing. You have to find a balance. And that's why, I want someone that's a little better than just a specialist, but Derrick Jones, his year in Dallas, he gave them credible three-point shooting and excellent perimeter defense. And if they could find someone like that, sign me up, man.
You'll be happy to know that the free throw line is over, so no more videos of beef and how to shoot free throws, that type of thing.
No, I just hear Nick Angstadt.
Well, I mean, you could hear him from a mile away, so can't do that.
You too, y'all. We're going to be on their show, just like he's on ours.
That's right. Before we take our first break, Leonard with the $5 super chat. Are we as a community going to support cover Luka during the playoffs? It sucks to say, but I find myself rooting for him a lot more than the Mavs right now.
We'll definitely cover the league. I would say if the Lakers make it pretty far in the playoffs, it's going to be pretty tough to keep Kevin Gray away from doing a watch along or doing some Lakers post games. But yeah, I mean, we're obviously going to be following Luka and all the other playoff teams. Last year we did as much as we could. Granted, there was a lot of stuff going on with the Mavs last year. This year, between prepping for the draft and probably watching Luka win a title. Just kidding. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of basketball to follow.
Speaking of which, they did win their 9th straight game tonight. Luke Kennard with the game-winning three-pointer for the Lakers tonight. So they keep on rolling in intensity. Let's roll to our first break here on the DLLS Mavs post-game show. When we come back, more on tonight's game, and we'll be here from our DLLS Mavs here at Harrod Jr. a little bit later on in our show as well. All that more coming up next.
This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is such a great way to spend some time, and hopefully you're not spending money. Hopefully on PrizePicks you're making money, and here's how. You choose between 2 and 6 players and predict whether they will record more or less than their projected stat line. For basketball, it could be points or rebounds or assists or any combination thereof, heck, even all three. You can also even make multiple picks on the same player. So, for example, cooperflagg points and cooperflagg rebounds. As long as you ultimately take multiple players on different teams, you are good to go. They also recently rolled out their early payout feature. So if it looks like you're going to win, PrizePicks will offer you a little bit of cash up front that you can just withdraw, guaranteed, and take home that dub. It came in handy for me a couple weeks ago when I thought Trey Murphy might just never hit the broadside of a barn again, and I was actually right, and I got to take home some cash. If you're going to play along, download PrizePicks today. Use promo code DLLS when submitting your first $5 lineup for $50 in free lineups anytime you like. On PrizePicks, it's good to be right. It's tournament time. It is the best time of the year. Both the men's and women's tournaments are underway, and Sling is offering you a very, very cool and fun way to watch the games. And there's also a little something on the line. We might win something at the end as well. Here's how. So Sling is offering 1, 3, and 7-day pass subscriptions. If you're sitting at home, you're like, man, I want to watch these games. I don't have a way how because I cut the cord. Well, Sling is offering you that opportunity. The 1 day pass starts at just $4.99. And here's the thing. If a single underdog in either the men or women's tournament, so 12 through 16 seed, advances to the round of 16, then every single person that purchased a 1, 3, or 7-day pass subby will be able to get an additional 1-day sub for just $1 to cash out anytime in the tournament. And so as you're cheering on these underdog schools, just know there's something on the line for all of us that took advantage of this deal from Sling. For more information and details and to sign up, go to sling.com/underdog. Again, sling.com/underdog today.
Back here on the DLLS Mavs post-game show. Shout out to all of you joining us here on DLLS Sports. Kevin Gray here live at the American Airlines Center. Our guy Bobby Carrillo hanging out at the house tonight as we are away from DLLS Sports Studios. So hopefully we'll be back in there when we start the beginning of the week as the floor is being taken up here and the floor getting prepared for the Stars to come back home. It's starting to get a little cold inside the American Airlines Center here as the Gary starts to put the ice down here in just a little bit. We'll be hearing from our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. a little bit later on in our show as well. Before we get there, though, as we start this segment, It's time to handle our PrizePicks game ball of the night, presented by PrizePicks. Make sure you download the PrizePicks app today. Use code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It's code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, of course, is good to be right. And tonight we handed out to Najee Marshall, who was doing everything he possibly could to try to win tonight's game. Another great game for him. At least at the scoring department, had 28 points, going 11 of 23 from the field. And got into the paint as much as he could to try to give this Mavericks offense a boost, and continues to have a career year averaging over 15 points per game, adding to that total tonight. Got into a little bit of, what you call it, a kerfuffle, brouhaha, a little tiff earlier in the game. Had some words for, I can't remember who's that.
Isaiah Jackson.
Oh, that's right, Isaiah Jackson. That's right. How would you characterize it?
They were exchanging words. Najee was, you know,
tough guy. Unfortunately, fell short.
Jackson was about it too. The ref should have let them go.
Yes,
they should have just let him hash it out right there on the court. Apologies to Najee for this game ball. It is very flat. This is the only basketball I have in my place, and it is super flat. But this is, I think this might be reversed, so maybe you can't see it, maybe you can. Who knows? This is an official NBA arena game ball. I am not going to explain to you how I came away with this ball, but this is a real NBA ball.
It's for a members club video only. How about that? You can explain it on that particular video. R. King says, I was at the game tonight. Shout out to you. Shout out to Galkagen, who also was able to catch before, since I didn't leave tonight's game. He saw me actually at halftime. He was at the game with his son tonight. After traveling back and seeing Paige Beckers play in the FIBA World Cup qualifying tournament, Galka just says he missed his free throw attempt that he took.
Well, here's advice, man. Here's how you do it. Okay. So there's an acronym: BEEF, BEE, an extra E, and F. All right. This is how you shoot. So the B stands for balance. You want your feet shoulder width apart. All right. I want you wherever you are right now. If you're at home, if you're driving in your car, I want you to stand up, okay? I want you to stand up. I want you to stop moving, and I want you to get shoulder width apart. Now, with your dominant foot, your dominant hand foot, for me, I'm right-handed, so I put my right foot a little in front of my left, okay? Now, that's balance. Now, eyes, look at the target. Look at the target. Look at it. Elbow, make an L. You want this to be an L, like on Tankathon. You need it to be an L. Now, there's all sorts of things about hand placement. Dirk, for example, makes a V with his index finger and his middle finger, and then guides it in like that with train tracks. So, elbow, now extension. Bring it up. Shoot it up high, not out. Shoot it up. First off, you want to create some arc on the ball. Secondly, you don't want your shot to get blocked. If you shoot it from down here, line drive right at the camera is going to block it. If you shoot it over the camera, hey, no one is going to block it. And then lastly, follow through. You want to flick your wrist. You want to flick your wrist really hard. NBA players flick their wrist extremely hard. You want to generate some spin on the ball. Now, bonus tip for you free throw shooters out there, okay? And this is from the world's best free throw shooter. I read it in a book. I swear to God, I read this in a book. First off, you want to visualize the swish before you even shoot your free throw. You want to see the ball go in. All right. Secondly, you want to aim for the front of the rim, not for the net, not for the back of the rim. Obviously, not the backboard on a free throw. You want to aim for the front of the rim. If you put it nice and high and soft out of your hand, kiss it off the front of the rim, it is going to bounce in every time. If you go back and watch the GOAT, Dirk Nowitzki, shoot free throws, a ton of his free throws bounced in off the front of the rim. That was the Dirk special. He would swish his jumpers. He would front rim his free throws. That is how the greats do it. Aim for the front of the rim, high and soft, flick that wrist. Boom. Now you're at least a 27% free throw shoot. You're welcome.
I need that to be a VOD, Tanner. How to shoot free throws with our DLLS Mavs analyst, Bobby Crowell. Big night in the Tankathon standings for the Dallas Mavericks. With a win for the Clippers, they helped the Mavericks as they dropped to 23 and 48. It also moves the Clippers back out of the lottery, which means the Thunder aren't in the lottery because, of course, the Thunder own the Clippers pick for the 2026 NBA draft lottery. So with a win, the Clippers actually move back out of the lottery, in case you were wondering. Meanwhile, the Mavericks now are 10 full games behind the Golden State Warriors, who also got beat tonight. They lost to the Atlanta Hawks, who beat them up pretty good. So some of the other scores around the league as you look at tonight's action, as far as the Tankathon is concerned, the Wizards keep up their losing ways. The Grizzlies did lose to the Charlotte Hornets, so they're 24-46 on the year. The Pelicans did lose. They lost 111 to 106 to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who had a big comeback in the fourth quarter to win that game. And the other game of note, the Philadelphia 76ers lead the Utah Jazz 116 to 110 with 2:40 left in the fourth quarter there. Quentin Grimes with 23 points. Former Maverick legend Quentin Grimes with 23 points to lead the way for Philadelphia. So the Mavericks looks like they're going to stand pat tonight because everyone else is losing games tonight in the Tankathon, in front of them and behind them as well.
That's why you got to keep losing. That's why every win is bad.
By the way, Cooper Flagg fell 2 assists shy of what would have been his first career triple-double, going for 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists in tonight's game. So he's getting ever closer to that triple-double. I'm surprised we don't have a this is the only stat line put up by a rookie in a certain – that's pretty – considering the way that he shot the ball, it's a pretty damn good stat line. And the 4 blocks as well. So he had 18 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 blocks in this game. Seems like a pretty interesting line for a rookie who has been putting up fantastic lines throughout the course of the year in different various ways. But as he always does, he's stuffing the stat sheet and trying to find a way to win. And he did so on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he's very productive. He's just a good player, man. Like I said, he's getting better at making passes. He's a very active defender around the rim. He's a really good player. Really, really, really good player. Foundational piece because he can do whatever you need him to. Need him to get 25? Sure. Need him to protect the rim? Sure. Keep the ball moving? Sure. The thing that's missing is, crunch time consistency and like having a plan. And then just a 3-point shot. And, for some guys that never comes. For Coop, I believe he's probably going to, he's probably going to figure something out.
For those who are wondering, the NCAA tournament continues as we had several teams advance to the Sweet 16, including Michigan, who's the number 1 seed. They advance. Darius Garland had 36 tonight for Arkansas as they took on High Point. I'm assuming that Arkansas won that game. Darius Garland did what he did. Speaking of which, another super chat. PLH is back with a $1.99 super chat. Acuff, AJ, or Peterson. I literally can't lose. You concur?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they have to get top 4, probably top 1 to get AJ, and probably top 2 or 3 to get Peterson. I think if the Mavs get top 3, then we're all winners. Doesn't matter who they get. If they finish top 3, then we're jamming. We're singing, we're dancing, we're doing cartwheels, we're doing backflips, we're doing somersaults, we're doing the cha-cha, we're doing the rumba, we're doing the salsa, we're doing the wobble, we're doing the cotton eye.
I'm gonna see you wobble.
We're doing everything.
Let's see you wobble.
Which one is the wobble? Is it this one?
Yeah. Wobble, baby. Wobble, baby. Yeah, exactly.
That's about as much as I turned up.
I had a whole thought, and it just left me. It was Mexican Heritage Night here at the American Airlines. So a lot of good music tonight. Yeah. Shout out to Sean.
The way that I found to watch the game included a live feed of the Jumbotron, and so I was able to take part in the Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb karaoke cam, and I was having a great time, dude. I love Selena.
Shout out to PA announcer Sean Heath, who did the entire first quarter pretty much in Spanish. And he did the pregame introductions also in Spanish. So shout out to Sean. He was on his game tonight.
If I remember correctly, I think Sean is like, if not fluent, then very close to fluent. Like, he speaks very good Spanish.
I was very impressed. I was very impressed with what he was doing during the pregame. And yes, Max Christie's Spanish was also very good, as you saw throughout the course of the game as well. So shout out to Mexican Heritage Night here at the American Airlines Center. Let's take our next break here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, we welcome our DLLS Mavs beat writer Harrod Jr., who's in a different part of the American Airlines Center, not next to Nick like I am. We'll talk to him next. But first, who wants to become part of our DLLS Sports family? The easiest way that you can do that is like, comment, and subscribe to DLLS Sports, or you can scan that QR code that you see on your screen right there, and join for $36 in your first year. In fact, you get a free T-shirt like mine or like Bobby's when you sign up. You also get access to our member-only Discord, and you get access. That's right, you can pledge allegiance to the flag when you join DLLS Sports. You can also get access to our premium content curated by our DLLS Mavs beat writer Harrod Jr., the greatest beat writer in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, Clarence E. Hill Jr. covering your Cowboys, Jeff Wilson covering your Texas Rangers, and of course Sam Nessler and Sean Shapiro covering your Dallas Stars. Speaking of the Stars, they're putting the ice out on the floor right now as we speak, as they take up the parquet floor, or take up the floor, and get ready for the Stars coming back on. But it is time for Major League Baseball. Spring training is just about finished. I was listening to some spring training baseball for the Rangers on the way over today. It is time for baseball. So take advantage right now. $36 in your first year to become a diehard member right now. Scan that QR code that you see on your screen, or go to alldlls.com to become a diehard member. Take advantage of that right here, right now, and join the movement here at DLLS Sports. With that, let us welcome in. Appreciate y'all joining us here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. Let's go into a different part of the American Airlines Center and welcome in our DLLS Mavs beat writer. You can find him on X. He knows sports. He is Harrod Jr. Ron, what's going on?
He go to school. What's his?
We can't hear you. Can you say?
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go.
I was muted.
There we go.
I'm sorry. But
There you
how's
go.
everybody doing? I was saying, hey, everybody.
We're good. We're good. You were probably in a little quieter part of the AAC. Shout out to you. What did Jason Kidd have to say after tonight's game?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was just curious, like, Coop Flagg has missed a ton of game winners this year, like at least 5 off the top of my head. I'm probably lowballing them that he's like, taken and missed. And I feel like this kind of how you keep him, confident in taking those shots. And Jason Kidd talked about like, hey, he has to this is something that he's going to have to just do. And eventually like that will probably, change for Cooper Flagg. So I think for Jason Kidd, it's like, hey, we got a good look. I like to play. It just, the result wasn't the result. And, for some Mavs fans, they're probably thinking, well, Coop Flagg next season probably won't be taking those shots. It should be Kyrie Irving if healthy. So it's like Cooper Flagg does need these reps, and it's probably good he's getting a ton of these reps this year. But next year, these plays will likely be drawn up for one of the greatest closers in the history of the NBA.
Getting 20 shots.
Yeah, another learning lesson for him. Goes 6 of 16 from the field, had a chance to win it at the buzzer. Missed a shot, had a clean look, missed it. I thought the atmosphere was good inside the building tonight. You could tell that the Mavericks wanted to win this game. The fans were into it as well. It was a game of runs, especially in that the third quarter. The Clippers jumped out to a 24-5 start in the first 5.5 minutes of that period, and then the Mavericks responded with a 20-7 run of their own. And Ron, it was really game on from there. Unfortunately, what's been a story of this season for the Mavericks is they can't guard guards. And Darius Garland had his best game of the season, and then his best game in a Clipper uniform, going for 41 points on 8 threes made tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Darius Garland had multiple heat checks. I mean, over 40 points for Darius Garland. No one can stay in front of him. 8 threes. When a player makes 8 3-pointers, it changes the way that defenses have to guard now, because now they have to guard you not only further out, but now you can easily blow by players due to, again, you making 8 3-pointers. You just open up so much for your offense. And then, oh, yeah, they have Kawhi Leonard as well on this team. So, like, okay, you can't double Darius Garland because Kawhi Leonard is having one of the probably 5 best seasons in the NBA quietly in Los Angeles. And having both those players was just really tough for the Mavericks. PJ Washington had to try, Najee Marshall had to try, but they just couldn't seem to, stop a lot of these guys. And I think PJ Washington had a good game. Najee had a good game. Daniel Gafford played well. This was a great offensive game for majority of the Mavericks. I mean, Ryan Nembhard, I think it was 1 assist shy of a double-double to my knowledge off the top of my head. Like, this was a great game offensively. They just couldn't get, stops when they needed it. But the AAC was, I mean, KG could tell you, was lively all night. I mean, yes, it was it Mexican, you said Harrod night, I think it was, for tonight. So, being for that, you get some bops. So yeah, maybe the players were catching the vibe too, like kind of how the fans were in the arena, but the fans were cheering this team on. This team hasn't won here at the AAC in almost 2 months at this point, and you could not tell for a second based on how the crowd was acting. So I thought that was one of just the biggest takeaways of the crowd was so into it. Jason Kidd said he thinks that the Mavs are the best sports fans. That's what Jason Kidd said. So I guess Mavs fans are proving him right.
Yeah, Nembhard had 13 points, 9 assists in this game, going 6 of 10 from the field. Also gave you 5 rebounds in this game, which is for a guard of his size. It's not bad for a guard of his size. And, yeah, I mean, you said it. This is a team now that's lost 11 straight games at home. They literally haven't won at the American Airlines Centers in 2 months. Their last home win was January 22nd against the Golden State Warriors, which, by the way, Ron, they see you on Monday here at the AAC. So maybe their next home win will come against the team that they beat last 2 months ago.
Likely.
But for this team, I mean, look, the Warriors are extremely banged up. They have quietly, organically found themselves in the thick of the Tankathon race themselves now, as far as that's concerned. In fact, they're 11th in the Tankathon standings right now, which is exactly where the Mavericks were when they won the lottery last year. So there's that. But yeah, this team is now 25 games under 500 at 23 and 48. Darius Garland, those 41 points were a season high for him. So, look, we talked about it early on in the show. The Mavericks have had trouble guarding dynamic guards this year, whether it's Tyrese Maxey, Shea, whether it's, take your pick of guards. The Mavericks just simply have not had an answer for any of those, and that came to fruition again tonight here.
Yeah, and then Marvin Bagley is another player, that's been stacking some good games. He had 12, he had, I think 12, was this 12 or 17 points, I'm sorry, today for the team. I mean, just Marvin Bagley has been one of the, the finds in that Anthony Davis trade just off the bench. He's giving his team value. He also was brought out to the media, so he got a chance to talk. And one of the things that he said, I just asked him, like, hey, like, you've been a part of Sacramento Kings and Washington. Like, you've been a part of a lot of losing in your career. Like, you know what a losing streak is. So, like, what advice would you give to a Cooper Flagg or a Ryan Nembhard or someone, some of the young players on the Mavericks? And he said that during the losing and during the tough times, don't get comfortable with that. Focus on the good habits and focus on building on the things that translate up to winning. And that's kind of what Marvin Bagley said. And he said, like, you have to stack good habits even in losses. And, like, who knows better, about losing on, especially a team like the Mavericks that have multiple champions, like with Klay Thompson on the team. But Klay Thompson is, has an experience, a Sacramento Kings era or Wizards era. Like, Marvin Bagley knows what that feels like and now how to kind of come out of something like that. So I think he can provide a lot of advice to a Cooper Flagg or a Ryan Nembhard in that area.
And that's one thing we've talked about on this particular show, and Bobby's made the point, and we've all discussed it, is that you don't want to get comfortable with the losing that's happening. And you continue to stack good days as far as not only what you do in practice, but also in these games as well, because unfortunately, based off the roster that's been put together here, the injuries that this team has been dealing with, the roster moves that have been made, this team has just not simply won a lot of games this year. And in some ways, obviously, it's a lost year because you were hoping the expectations coming into this year were, hey, maybe we can compete for potentially a play-in spot, maybe threaten for a top 6 spot, and do so, especially once Kyrie Irving comes back, and you lose 15 of your first 20 games, and you really just haven't been able to recover from there. It's a testament to what the Clippers have been able to do to even get themselves to a point where they're even in the play-in, to have a chance to even make the postseason, given the 6-21 start that they had. The Mavericks just simply have not been able to do that. And give Bagley credit for being a professional. I mean, he had a good game tonight, 7 of 8 from the field in this game. And like I said, 17 points and knocked down 2 threes. He's getting more comfortable shooting the 3 ball as well. Knocked down a couple threes as well in this game. So maybe this is a guy that you potentially bring back on the right kind of deal as a backup big. But at the same time, wherever he lands, whether it's here or somewhere else, he's proving with the opportunities that he's had to be someone that is going to earn himself another contract, whether here or somewhere else.
Yeah, definitely. He's had just a good overall season. He kind of talked about that. He said he doesn't like to think too, far in the future at this point in his career. He actually even talked about even mental health stuff, like even earlier in his career, like kind of having to kind of find that. Like he said, when he first got in the NBA, he was just he just wanted to hoop, like he just hooped. And then of course, being on a Kings team, and then of course, what he went through just early in his career with being on such a bad team and kind of having to somewhat change his play style. He's had to kind of lock in, I guess, mentally with himself to kind of get himself to this point, as well as the work, of course, on the court. So it's just, a really cool thing to watch Marvin Bagley, do some stuff like that. But then also, Coop, Coop is a small forward. He played against one of the best small forwards in NBA history. And Kawhi Leonard that competed, blocked his shot, steered him down, did all these kind of things. And Coop, told us in the room when he also spoke to the media, he was he's like, hey, it's cool to play against the Kawhis. Like, I just want to, compete, against these guys. And that's something he just, takes on a challenge every night. Like Darius Jones Jr. was essentially guarded Coop the whole game. I mean, Mavs fans know just, better than me probably that he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. And he's going to give you problems. And he did give Coop problems. Coop was 6 of 16. He didn't make a 3 today, but he just does the other things to make up for sometimes the poor scoring, which is the 9 boards, which is 3 offensive rebounds, 7 assists. He had 4 blocks. He only had 3 fouls. Like he's going to do the other things. It's just once he kind of gets the scoring department to be more efficient, then I think his game will be even more well-rounded.
Ron, this team has now lost 22 of their last 26 games. And it has, this was game number 71 of the year. They've got 11 of these left. We were talking about doing it a little bit during the pregame show. They got Golden State on Monday, which they may be favored in. They probably will be favored in. But after that, I don't know, man. I don't know when the next win is coming for this team. They play on Monday against Golden State. They're on the road against Denver and Portland, and then back home against Minnesota. Maybe it could come on the road against Milwaukee, but then to finish the season at home against Orlando and the Lakers, and then on the road against the Clippers, the Suns, the Spurs, who may or may not be rested guys by the time we get to that point because they may not be able to catch the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then at home against Chicago on April 12th. I'll ask you, when do you think the next win is coming for this team?
Never.
I think that they can beat the Golden State Warriors. Like Golden State is just not playing good basketball right now. Like Brandon Podziemski is like the best offensive option they have right now. Curry is officially out according to the Golden State Warriors, who sent out an email today and saying, yeah, he will not be playing the next 2 games at least. And that will be against the Dallas Mavericks. So there's no Curry. There's no Jimmy Butler. Like, is Draymond supposed to lead this team in scoring? It just comes to a point where there's just not enough options, where Guy Santos is trying to guard Cooper Flagg, and it's like there's limited options here, And I'm not even sure if Porzingis is playing consistently. I doubt it for this squad. So, even he's in and out the lineup, and he's trying to get his chemistry with this team. It's just the Mavs probably beat them. Now, maybe they do something that Bobby would smile at, and hey, Coop, we need a break. Hey, Najee, no. Like maybe they just go that route, and then we'll see. But if they play the lineup they played today with those guys playing the way they played today, it might even be like a 10-plus point victory.
Luke in the chat says, we don't need any wins, KG. I think Mavs fans have accepted the fate of the team this season, which is true. I'm more speaking to about the guys in that locker room because they don't want to continue to lose games. Obviously, there is an assignment. Everyone understands the assignment from everyone outside of, inside that locker room, obviously. But yeah, ethical tank masterclass. They gave it a go, man. They really gave it a go tonight. They gave this crowd something to cheer about and had a chance to win a game in regulation. They got blitzed in overtime. So, as Luke also says, we're all waiting for the lottery now. Pretty much. Pretty much with 11 games to go and just a few weeks left in the year. That is exactly what most fans and most folks are waiting for. But you could tell, I mean, Ron, I'm sure you could tell as well that this team they were trying to win this game. They could have let the rope go after they got blitzed 24-5 to start their third quarter and just let the rope go from there, but they didn't, and was able to get into overtime. They just, then they got blitzed again in overtime.
I mean, Coop Flagg had a shot to win the game. He just didn't make
it.
He had
a shot to win the game.
He didn't the shot. It's not like they decided like turn the ball over. Like, no, he took a good mid-range jump rate. It just did not go in. Now Coop game winner, I'll be honest, would have been great for the vibes. It really, really would have been great for the vibes, but he did not make the shot. So the result is the result. And to me, that shot came down to a win-win. They lose the game, that's a win for the lottery. If Coop makes a game winner, that's probably a win still for Mavs fans. So it became a very win-win game at the end based on the result where no one's mad either way. So I think that tonight was a good night for the Mavericks and the tank.
Well, Ron, we appreciate you hanging out with us on the DLLS Mavs post-game show. We will talk to you on Monday when the Mavericks take on the Golden State Warriors. The tip-off will be, check this out, boys, it goes 8:30 p.m. on Monday night.
Goodness gracious. Sleep for this guy tomorrow, everyone. And a lot of other good things as well, but mostly sleep. I'll catch you all later.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Let's take our final break here on the DLLS Mavs post-game show. When we come back, we'll take our spin around Tankathon with our guy Bobby Carella to finish off tonight's show. We'll do that more coming up
next. Kevin, did you talk about the new shirts?
No, that's you.
Oh my gosh. All right, so here's the deal. Look at those shirts. Look at how good those shirts look. That is some star stuff now. Obviously, the Stars got taken down today in overtime. They still got a point. Okay, they still got a point, but they did take an overtime L. So in order to fix the morale, in order to cheer the guys on as they do try and make that last-second President's Trophy push, well, pick you up one of these shirts today. Die Hard, save 20% on all merch. You do not need to be a Die Hard to shop in our store, okay? But if you're a Die Hard, you can shop at our store and save a little bit of money and use that money to do whatever you want, man. Invest it, spend it on other stuff, save it, admire it, do whatever you want. Also, you can scan the QR code, go to alldls.com to take advantage of that spring training offer because, folks, spring training is over, I think, like very soon. The Rangers leave Arizona, I want to say this weekend, to come back to Arlington.
Got a couple exhibition games coming up this week.
I know they play in Arlington, but they live around the Metroplex before hopping on a plane to head up to Philly. Jeff Wilson will be there with them. So anyway, if you want to take advantage of this stuff, do it now.
Ryan says, as long as we stay 6th in the lottery ranking by the end of the season, I'll be okay.
Absolutely.
That perfectly leads us into our final segment here. We appreciate all of you hanging out with us here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show, bearing with us here through a very interesting evening for us here at DLLS Mavs. To let everybody in a little bit. We didn't have any power in the building, so we had to figure out a way how to do the show.
We had some in the building.
Yes. Just not enough to generate what we needed to do. So we made it do.
The arena's doing fine tonight. My internet, I live nearby the arena, and our office is also nearby the arena. And so I was worried that if basically what was going on is like we had electricity in most of the building, and we were able to basically rig away. We daisy chained a bunch of extension cables to get the router hooked up to one of the functioning outlets in our office. The problem is it was sending out Wi-Fi, but it wasn't actually getting a signal to send out. So it was a problem with the building, which made me think, okay, is it a problem with the whole neighborhood? But fortunately, obviously, it wasn't. But hopefully, Stars have a game tomorrow. Hopefully, those guys will be back in the office tomorrow to do the show from the studio. Otherwise, hopefully on Monday we're all back in the stew and we can watch Mavs Warriors together.
Yeah, I was getting a little concerned as I was driving in. The street lights are out as well, so it was a whole 4-way stop deal over by, the area close to the studio. So, but all's well that ends well. So again, appreciate all of y'all hanging out with us here and bearing with us here on our show this evening. Free throw lessons and all. As the Mavericks fall to 23-48 on the year. I will say this is kind of nostalgic for me because I used to do post-game shows like this on my own in this very like spot. So this is kind of a reminiscing for me because I used to, as I was making my way, making my bones, if you will, in this industry. KG was trying to find his way into the industry, and he would sit here many a night and do post-game shows on his own by himself. So this is a pretty kind of interesting feelings. You can kind of hear the floor is being taken up, and the Stars ice is going to be put down here very shortly. So it's getting frigid inside the building here at the AAC.
It's been a while since I've been in that building. I miss it terribly. I have spent many hours of my life sitting in American Airlines Center, whether it's in whatever the sections I used to sit in as a fan, or the press box. I was in the press box for 41 nights a year, plus preseason, plus playoffs for 11 seasons. It's a lot of basketball, man. A lot of basketball.
Yes, Evan, that was the fan days when I was with 105.3 The Fan. I would do post-game shows, record them, and throw them to the YouTube channel. And I would do some on my own for my own YouTube channel. And there would be many nights where, just like the guy sitting to my left, Nick was sitting right next to me doing his show. I was doing my ass in here, doing a thing as well. So
we're all literally sitting right next to each other.
Yeah, Nick right here. Yeah, you're right over here.
Like during the recording?
Yeah,
okay.
He would do.
I
there
heard
he is. Yeah, there he is.
Hi, Bobby.
You can hear me?
No, I don't think he heard you. He just said hello.
Oh, okay, because I was about to. Well, never mind. We're live on the internet. I wasn't about to say anything. I was going to say something really nice.
Oh, you can say something nice. It's fine. It's fine.
Nick, you're doing great.
He says you're doing great work. He says thank you.
Oh.
The Mavericks doing some great work if you're a fan of the tank. They are ethically doing it. Tonight was a competitive night. It was a fun night. I thought the fans were really into it here in the building. They, as much as it's been a disappointing season, this was not a crowd that's seen now 11 straight losses. They wanted to see the Mavs team get a win tonight. So I thought the atmosphere was good inside the building. Unfortunately, it just didn't come away with the win there. So shout out to Ryan. Says, be glad we have DLLS. They do a great job. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you
for saying that. Thank you. Tonight was clutch game, Luke. Tonight was clutch game number 40 for the Mavs.
Mm-hmm.
They played what, 71?
71.
Jeez, man.
Yeah. Clutch game number 40 tonight. I don't know. When I look back on this season, Bobby, it'll be one of many clutch games, one of a lot of learning, but also, my goodness, man, hopefully this is the last of, hey, let's lose games to have to try to make the team better.
Last time they might lose games, but this is the last time they're going to lose games to make the team better for 5 years, at least. So
at least, yes.
You have that to hold on to.
For sure.
There might be some lousy ball. There might be, but there will be a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Unlike this year, because this year they're moving up.
It would be apoplectic around here if they won the number 1 overall pick again. It was just absolutely nuts. With that, let's get ready to take our Tankathon spin. And the Mavericks, with the loss, as I mentioned, 25 games under 500. They do remain 6th, though, in the Tankathon lottery standings. Everyone else around them was losing tonight as well, so not much change on that front. So
tell them about the one you took during the game.
The L I took during the game?
The spin you did.
Oh, yeah. So I was bored at one point in the game. Shout out to Nick. I was bored at one point in the game, so I did my own Tankathon spin.
Unofficial.
It was unofficial, yes. Unofficial. It was just for me, just for kicks. Guess who moved up 12 spots all the way to number 1? It was the Charlotte Hornets. It's okay. It was the Charlotte Hornets. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the Thunder or anything like. It was the Charlotte Hornets.
Thunder and Warriors are like bannable words, right? Don't hear those words.
I thought the Charlotte one was kind of fun. I was like, huh. Oh, what the Charlotte Hornets was like with the number 1.
They got enough good things. They don't need another one.
Oh wow. Okay.
Toji said they just spun and the Mavs got number 1. So heck yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right, here we are. Here we are. Does this work? Kevin, do you see this?
I do see this.
Do you see my screen? I'm sharing my screen. Oh, you're on mute. Okay. Let me back out. Just kidding. So as it stands, here are the Mavs in sixth place, hanging on to the lead, a game and a half ahead of Memphis. They have
did lose tonight.
37.2% chance at moving up into the top 4 and a 9% chance for the real believers out there, a 9% chance at the number 1 overall selection. You say the word, Kevin. Or, well, do you want to get Nick on here?
Nick, you want to join us for our Tankathon spin? Here he comes. Oh, this is awesome.
No whammies, no whammies.
All right, here we go.
It's been horrendous in the Tankathon spins for the last week or two. All right.
I know, right? All right, here we go. I'm going to count down. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Come on. Go, okay. All right. Yeah.
Who do you take? You take Boozer, you take Wilson.
Okay, so the Mavericks got number 3.
Yes.
Who you taking?
I'll take Caleb Wilson.
Okay, and Nick says he wants to take Caleb Wilson at number 3.
All right.
Would you be okay with
that? We got Kings first, Wizards second, Mavs third, Jazz fourth. Dude, that's the first time they've moved up in more than a week.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Pacers big loser in this one. They dropped to 5, which means their pick goes to the Clippers. The Nets coming in 6, Memphis at 7, New Orleans at 8, Chicago at 9, Milwaukee at 10.
Now in this
Nick
one,
good luck.
Because I'm not in the the full whatever. I'm gonna go full screen and see what happens. All right.
Okay. All right.
No. It's I think I maybe have to do it on the mock draft page in order to see whatever. They get third. I don't know what screen Tanner usually does it on to where it shows the picks, but
it's
on this page.
Oh, there we go. There it is. Oh, so wait, we have to do it again.
We still got the official one.
Are we gonna do it on the mock? Oh, don't do it in mock draft.
No. No. We're not doing it again. We're not doing it again.
Okay.
We're not doing it again. They officially in that scenario, because we had Kings were number 1 and Wizards
were number 1. Mm-hmm.
All right, we can pretty safely say the Wizards are not going to draft Cam Boozer in that scenario because they have AD and Sar. So they would probably end up taking Peterson like they did. The Kings, I imagine the Kings would probably take DeBonza. Feels like Boozer and Sabonis are basically the same exact player.
They need a guard, though. But, yeah, they'd probably take DeBonza there.
Well, maybe they would take Peterson, I guess. But, they wouldn't take Boozer for sure. And then
for sure.
Wizards wouldn't take Boozer either. So it would be Boozer 3 unless the Mavs felt like being very rambunctious and deciding to go with Caleb Wilson or one of these other guys.
Okay. I don't mind that. I mean, like I said, they moved up, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, no. No complaints. If they end up in the top 4, I am super happy.
Yeah, for sure. Last few minutes of our show here, let you know what happened across the association tonight. Wizards get beat up by the Thunder, 132-111. There was a fight that broke out in our nation's capital. I don't know if you saw that happen. AJ Mitchell, Jalen Williams, and others got into some little brouhaha in our nation's capital tonight. Got tossed in tonight's game.
I'm looking it up.
Hornets won tonight, 124-101. They beat the Grizzlies. LaMelo Ball goes for 29 points in that win there. Lakers get their 9th straight win. Luke Kennard hits a game winner with 0.5 seconds left on the road to help the Lakers get a win there. So they win 105-104. Luka Doncic with 33. Yeah, you seeing the fight now?
Dude, they got people diving into the crowd.
Yeah, man. It was a little brouhaha broke out in our nation's capital there. So, for those who are wondering, Luka had 33 points, 8 assists, 4 steals tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers in a 105-104 win on the road. Also of note in that game, Luka Doncic picked up his 16th technical foul. So as of right now, he's suspended for Monday's game on the road against the Detroit Pistons. The Lakers have already said that they are going to talk to the league and see if they can get that one rescinded. Apparently, Goga Batadze had some things to say about Luka and his family, and Luka responded in kind, got a 16 tech, and right now is suspended for Monday's game pending league review there. Cavs win 111 to 106. They used a fourth quarter comeback to win that game on the road over the Pelicans. So there you go. Hawks whip up on the Golden State Warriors 126 to 110. Rockets get a game-winning tip-in from Amen Thompson at the buzzer to beat the Heat tonight, 123 to 122. Spurs beat up on the Spurs beat up on the Pacers tonight, 134 to 119. Victor Wembanyama came into the game questionable, but he wound up playing he had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in the win there. And finally, in Utah, Utah loses their 50th game of the season as they lose 126 to 116 at home to the Philadelphia 76ers. VJ Edgecombe had 22 points, 13 rebounds in the win there. Whoa. You good back there? All the
I was trying to grab the ball, and then my auto background thing forgot that it's supposed to do an auto background. Like, what is happening?
Wow.
You know?
Ace Bailey had 25.7 rebounds, 5 blocks in the loss for the Utah Jazz. And yes, Galkachin, my highlight of the night was the officiating of Bill Kennedy, who was the lead official in tonight's game. He was awesome. He appreciates entertainment value and gave me the show that. Thank you, Bill Kennedy. Thank you. Appreciate you. That'll do it for us here on the DLLS Mavs post-game show. We are off tomorrow. The next time you'll hear from us, Bobby Carella, what time does our pregame show start? Do you know?
2 p.m.
No.
I have no idea.
7:45 p.m. is when our pregame show will begin. Tip-off.
I think you said something wrong, Kevin. Did you misspeak? I thought I heard you say 7:45.
That's right.
They're playing at home. Are you sure that's not 7:45 Eastern?
No, it is 7:45 Central Standard Time. That which means tip-off, boys and girls, is at 8:30 p.m. Central Time on a Monday night here at the American Airlines Center.
Who are they playing?
Right. The Golden State Warriors.
Oh, so okay, so we have to stay up late a little bit, which sucks, but at least we get to watch Steph, we get to watch Jimmy Butler, we get to watch some really good players play. It's like high-level basketball.
No, my friend. No. The Warriors just announced that Stephen Curry won't be back for a little while. Yeah. No Steph, no Draymond potentially. You ready for some Guy Santos ball?
No.
You ready for some Guy Santos? You ready for some Brandon Pajemski? What's the man's name?
Give me some LJ Cryer.
LJ Cryer.
Give me some Quentin Post.
That's Bobby's favorite Quentin Post, actually. That's his
I
favorite.
hate that guy.
Hey, Bobby, that sounds about white.
Nick says that sounds about white. You know what I'm saying?
No, you better not lie. You take back what you said to him. I do not like Quentin Post.
He knows you don't like Quentin Post. He knows that you don't like him. He's on the Bobby Carella all-hate team, is Quentin Post. Along with Yusuf Nurkic and who else? There's one more random guy that you had on there.
I got a few of them.
Oh, Dean Wade. Dean Wade is the random one. Yeah, he hates Dean Wade. Bobby, thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. and our National League insider Mark Stein for joining us during our pregame show. Did you go full 1930s black and white on us? What are you doing?
Yeah, what do you mean? See?
Okay.
So you're playing the basketball.
Oh, shout out to Luke who came in at the buzzer. The Bucks beat the Suns? Oh, my gosh. That's a horrendous.
Suns can't win their way out of a paper bag right now, man.
That is disgusting, man. Yeah, the Bucks went on the road over the Suns. Okay. Wow. I guess Giannis wants to play. They're going to win the game, I guess. All right, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us on the DLLS Mavs post-game show and bearing with us here through our technical difficulties. And hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Regardless, I hope you learned how to shoot a free throw tonight. Hopefully you learned how to shoot a free throw tonight. I appreciate you, Tanner, making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. We will talk to you on Monday at 7:45 p.m., Bobby. 7:45 p.m. for our pregame show right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all be good. We'll talk to you then. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.